This is the fatherhood experience. Turn it up, cause tonight you'll learn how to leave behind the average dad life. This the fatherhood experience. It's time to leave my family and become the father figure I deserve to be. The fatherhood experience.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fatherhood Experience, where we help dads become better dads. We are your hosts, Jason Priest and Zach Smith, and we have a fantastic guest with us today. You guys are going to get a shit ton of value, and we're excited to speak with him. Before we dive in, just want to give a big shout out to all you guys who continue to listen to us and tune in. And you know that we're here to add value to your life. That's our sole purpose. We're not here to waste your time with ads. I'm not going to read off anything that I don't use. All we ask is if you get any value out of the show today, just share it with another man in your life who you believe would move forward a little bit. If we make you think, we make you laugh, we may give you a little golden nugget to get better, just share the show. That's all we do. We just ask for a value exchange because we are not going to run ads. We are hit up all the time for advertising, and I'm just not going to do that to you guys, man. I care too much about the value that we're spreading, and I'm not going to sit up here and read a bunch of nonsense that I don't use about products that I don't use, Zach doesn't use. That's not who we are. So with all that said, with us today, we have Mr. Alex Edwards. He is the author of Mortgage Before Marriage. And as you guys all know, one of our pillars on the show is finance. You know, we're all about fitness, family, finance, and freedom. And so we're going to hit on some finance today for you guys. But Alex is he's the author of Mortgage Before Marriage and is a self-made real estate mogul. He has helped thousands of people leverage and transform their lives and relationships, break the cycle of poverty and abuse, and make better choices for their future through strategic real estate investments. He was previously featured in Newsweek Magazine for his story of buying a rental property for his toddler son, which was one little piece that glued me to Alex. I was like, oh, we got to have him. And so he is incredibly open about his wealth accumulation strategies and can share inspiration to those who are wanting to build wealth to gain assets. His philosophy is that becoming wealthy keeps you in a great marriage and helps you become a better parent, which I love all of that. So without further ado, Alex, welcome to the show, man. I'm excited to get going.
Hey, how you doing? I'm happy to be here. We woke up today. Respect
That's
it.
Yeah,
right.
Love it.
Right, that's
so
right.
We for those of you guys who've been tuned in a bit, you know that Zach and I are very big on gratitude. And when Alex joined us on Zoom today, I asked him how's his world going, and he said he's alive and he's breathing. And I immediately stuck to that because that's the first thing that I put in my gratitude journal every single day is the fact that I woke up. And so obviously we're aligned in some ways. And so I'm excited to dive in. Alex, if you don't mind sharing with us, let's open up and hear a little bit about your story because there's a lot we can unpack here.
Yeah.
I know that you have a lot of value for our audience, but how did you get to be with us today?
So I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. When growing up, when I was in high school, I'll start in high school. When I was in high school, I decided to take the first-time home buyers class. That's a program that Boston, Massachusetts has for people that want to purchase a house, right? So you take this class, Boston will give you some grants, down payment assistance, etc. So I did it in high school. There's no age limit because there's no age limit to success. So I'm like, I don't have nothing to lose, right? I go in there, do the class, and I complete it. Fast forward, I'm in college, taking business administration in Wellesley, Massachusetts. And the professor says, go home and buy something and treat it like a business. So a couple of weeks later, I come back to class and said, Professor, guess what? He goes, what, Alex? Tell me. So I'm like, I bought a house. Oh my God, you bought a house. So I'm 20 years old, got my first investment property. I'm working at Bank of America at the time. I'm like, yes, I got my first property. So I said, guess what? He said, you got more news? I said, yes. He says, what, Alex? I said, this is the last time you're going to ever see me because I can't pay for the school and my mortgage. And that's the last time he ever seen me. That's the last time he saw me. It was a wrap. After that day, it was a wrap, right? And at Bank of America, I understood money. See, some people go to a job and they fed up and they're like, oh, I hate being here. But Bank of America is successful for a reason, right? And the people that's working there, everybody, not only working there, everyone in life went down sometimes a different street to get to the same location, and they could tell you their journey, and you could benefit from listening about their journey, right? Mm-hmm. So I understood the difference between a mortgage broker and a loan officer. See, a loan officer is like Gap, right? You go into Gap, you can only buy Gap. If Gap don't got it, you can't buy it. It's not for you. It's just not going to happen, right? But a mortgage broker is like Marshalls. They got a little something for everybody. And at the time, they had a little something for a 20-year-old man in Boston, Massachusetts, named Alex E. Edwards, that was in college before he signed papers, right? So and that's how I jumped into real estate. Um, First of all, I got one of those bad loans. It was adjustable rate. So, it started at 2,100. By the time it went up, it was like almost $3,000. I'm young. I don't know what to do. I get myself a second job. When I used to go to the bars, and my guys used to just throw that round around, like, oh, it's your round, it's your round. What I used to do, buy one drink and I send it around, like, yo, y'all better take a sip because I don't have enough money. I'm broke. I'm trying to figure this house stuff. I'm trying to figure this house stuff out because I literally jumped off the cliff, broke. They didn't understand the mortgage product that I got at that moment, but I was destined not to fail. So I went on Google. I studied bankruptcy and loan modifications. And at that moment, when you yell bankruptcy, you think bankruptcy means that you're broke, like you're done. But bankruptcy is a tool to get you out of a situation freely, to be honest, right? So I filed bankruptcy. So I got rid of my junior mortgage. That means I had two mortgages, one principal and one junior. The junior was $89,000. I got rid of the entire $89,000 through bankruptcy. Next, I did a loan modification. So the loan modification say, well, I want you to modify my loan, and I want a fixed rate. I don't want none of this. I don't want to guess what's my monthly mortgage. I don't want to guess. I just want a fixed rate for the next 30 years. So I got that. So from that day to today, that particular mortgage on a 2-family in Boston, Massachusetts is about $1,200. And that was the move I had to make. Now, mind you, that particular home has potential right now to make about $5,000, right? And I only owe $1,200 a month, right? So I had to make that move. I had to get out of the chokehold of my mistake because I didn't educate myself on the mortgage product, right?
Well, let me pause you there because I think that this timeline. I'm excited to hear more, by the way. But this timeline, you took the leap. You took a big risk, and I think that huge risk, right? That's where a lot of people. That's where a lot of people never really tap their full potential because they're not really willing to take that risk. You did it at a very young age. Probably got kicked in the mouth quite a few times. You had to file for bankruptcy, so you did get punched in the mouth. And what I want to know, though, is where I'm going with this. And my question here is that you've got this timeline, and you're telling about you weren't educated, you didn't have the knowledge, right? What are you doing in the background to accelerate this knowledge? Because I have a lot of interest around real estate, but I'll be honest with you, my purpose and my passion every day is growing our company, right? And so it's very for somebody that's out there that's trying to get into this journey. What is that education process like? Like, what were you doing in the background as this process is taking place?
Great question. I was on Google University.
That's good.
It's on YouTube University, late nights, stressing, sweating. And because I just didn't want to embarrass myself. It's when you lose something and you fall, you embarrassed, right? We especially as men, as egos, I really didn't want to embarrass myself. So I just wanted to figure a way out. And if I had to let it go, fine. But I'm not going to let go of anything without fighting. So I went on Google and I learned about the loan modification. I learned about bankruptcy. And that's when it all came together. And even when I spoke to my attorney about the bankruptcy, she didn't even understand that you could do a bankruptcy and file for a loan modification. I'm the only one thus far since then to do both. right? So to answer your question, it was really Google. It's this information, we're talking about, I bought my home in '06, right? 20 years old. We're not talking about a phenomenal podcast like yours. When you're not around, I can't tune into you. Right? I can't tune in you and figure it out. So it was really Google, and it was a nonprofit right up the street from me. Went in there, got my loan modification. So I really had to seek the info. I had to find the information, but most importantly, I had to execute, and that's what I did.
So what you're telling us is information is there. All we have to do is do it. Like surprise, surprise, guys.
Do the work.
Listening here. Like Jason says all the time, right? We don't lack for information. We lack for application.
Yeah.
Just get the damn thing done. Do the damn thing and do what you got to do to learn what you got to learn to get where you want to get. It's literally as simple as that. Now, is it easy? Hell no. But is it simple? It can be. Maybe, here or there. What I'm interested in and what I want to know, because we talk to a wide spectrum of gentlemen, Alex. So there's going to be some people who are well off. There's going to be some people who are not so well off, man. So there are going to be a lot of people out there. But the reality is everybody wants a little bit of more income, a little bit to, supplement what it is they're doing. And hey, man, if all things work out well, maybe it becomes their main source. But what did you do and how did you get to that point? Because when we were talking before we started, hit record, you bought your first house at 20, but you left the corporate world at 23. Tell us about that. How the hell did you go from confused, bought a house, don't know what the hell am I doing, to leaving the corporate world at 23? Because something probably must have clicked. So you figured something out. What was that?
Well, Andy filed for bankruptcy, so there's no worse. Well, I guess you could say there's no worse. Some people who file for bankruptcy do it in a way where they're not truly broke, right? It's just an escape. Because I have a friend who did this. He was just like, I just want out. I'm going to clean my whole life. And I'm like, dude, that's I don't know about it. But
that was chapter 13.
Yeah. But you are, let's not call it rock bottom, but you are starting in a place where a lot of guys will be starting, right? Most people don't have 40, 50, 80K to go, but put 20% down on a home and get this thing going. So that's what I want to hear more of. And you were continuing or storing. I think you were almost there. So go ahead and fill that gap and we'll get to Zach's question here.
Well, both great questions. So one, I just want to clear. I didn't have 80,000 to put down either. I used an FHA loan that 3.5. At the time, my home was 389. And that's all I had to put down. So I just want to make that clear. I bought a multi-family, so they use 75% of the rent, and that's how I qualify for higher. Just want to make that very clear. I was not rich at 20. I just did a few things right. So moving forward, I was at the bank and I noticed it was a lot of happy people in the bank. It was weird to me because where I grew up, I thought you either have time with no money or money with no time. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But at the bank in Brookline, Massachusetts, they had time and money. I was like, oh my God, are you from a different planet? How you have time and money? You come in the middle of the day with your workout clothes, cashing a $30,000 check. How? Tell me. They was all real estate agents. So I'm like, wait a minute.
What year is this, though? This is when real estate was rocking and rolling, right? It was easy to get into it then, yes?
This was around right before 08. So
before the crash. Okay.
Right before 08.
So that's when everything, like, anybody gets approved. Here you go. You get a house. You get a house. You get a house. Fuck, guys all get houses. Yeah.
You're 20. You get approved. Alex said, you're 20. Just came out of high school. You get approved.
I heard a story of a stripper who was able to buy 5 homes.
Yeah.
And then
I watched that movie.
What, in 07?
She went straight back to the pole, man.
Yeah.
after the crash, man.
Yeah.
I read a story about that. Yeah, they were approving everybody, and she was like 21 years old or something crazy.
But I was one of them. To be honest with you, you heard a story. I'm telling you, look at me. I was not a stripper, but I was that person. I'm serious.
After the crash, you were. No, I'm saying no.
I had decisions to make. But honestly, I was that person. You're looking at someone that totally failed, that was losing everything, that had the effed up loan. Like I'm here. That's who you talking to, right? I want to say that failure though, but that failure taught me how to get up multiple times though, right? So when I understood that real estate agents was popping, I became a real estate agent. I'm like, look, I'm out of here. I quit my job, quit 9 to 5. I'm out of here. I focus on getting my license. I got my license. I start branding myself Alex E. Edwards for Massachusetts most trusted real estate agent. I saw all these politicians. I saw their signs. I was like, all right, I'm going to market myself just like that. So when you seen a politician sign, you saw Alex E. Edwards for your real estate agent. They'll say for Congress, I say for your real estate agent. I was telling the world I'm as important as your politician. So that's how my career was just went.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. So let me ask you this. Did you have help on the branding, or is this something you just decided you just you had a little creative juices that went that way? All right.
God gave me brand and marketing. God gave me that one.
Love it.
I'm going to accept that gift from God. Yeah, he gave me that one. So I just started pushing it, and it started working. So I started making money.
And how old are you at this time now?
At this time, I'm like 20. I'm like 24. Making money
1 year after leaving the corporate world.
Yep, 24,
Gotcha.
25. Yep, because I remember my first 2 checks was about almost $20,000, and I went to Vegas. I ain't gonna lie, went to Vegas.
Here we go.
Made another mistake. I met the girl. I met the stripper that bought the house. I met her at Vegas. But anyways, but I went to Vegas, right? And so I didn't lose a lot of money, but I spent a lot of money. But what I did, I saved some money to put a commercial together. So I came back and ran a commercial on a radio station, and boom, Alex E. Edwards was created. It was a wrap after that. I'm talking about checks after checks after checks after checks after checks, right? Just helping people buy homes. But now I understood that as a real estate agent, your job is really to give away wealth. And I was like, I don't know if I feel good about this one anymore. Because if my job is to find you a good deal, so you and your family could become wealthy, but I still have to hustle all the time to find a good deal, and my family is not becoming wealthy. So I made that transition. But wait a minute, I want to buy some homes. So I jumped into probate real estate, right? And probate is when someone passed away and they leave real estate behind. I went in that field, right? And I'll tell you why. Dead people don't negotiate. I never heard, give me this. They don't negotiate. So I gave their family some money. This is what you want? Yep. No problem. I got into my first flip. I bought it for $150, and that profit $100,000, my first flip. And that's when I was like, okay, real estate is for real. Real estate is for real. And most importantly, when you put your mind to something, and you actually execute, you will gain success. And everything just started opening up for me. It started to feel different, if that makes sense. Because you file back. What else could happen to you? You
already hit the rock bottom in real estate.
It's
right?
It's like rock, right? And the funny thing is, for a long time, I never told anyone about the bankruptcy.
It's embarrassing.
My mother didn't know, no one. And now everyone knows about my pain. Everyone knows about my pain. Everyone, because I think that's as a father, as a man, I'm not going to come here on your show and disrespect your show and say my life was the best life ever. My life was the best life for me, but it had a lot of pain and I fell a lot. But I got back up every time I fell.
That's the mentality you have to have, though, man. And that's really what really what Zach and I base our lives on, man, is a 1% better every day mentality. And when you get up and you keep fighting, like you said, we live in a victim mentality world. And when people get punched in the face, it's the Mike Tyson thing. Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth, right? And when you get punched in the mouth, if you don't know how to weather the storm and you allow yourself to go into this, this dark depression, these dark holes, and then you have to climb out, the climb out of these holes gets harder and harder each time because you don't have the mindset to overcome adversity on a regular basis, right? When you get punched in the mouth like you did, in the manner that you did, you're not bulletproof by any means, but you've faced a great enough adversity in that moment that you're like, okay, well, anything else that comes my way, I can handle it, because that one already stripped me of my ego. Now I got to build that back up. So anything less than this is not going to be as bad, and I can somehow digest that. But it's the mindset, right? You have to have the mindset that you believe in yourself first, but you're going to continue to get up and fight. And I love that was your mentality going in.
Yeah, and that's my mentality every single day. Like, we're winning the fact that we're breathing. There's nothing more valuable than breath. Nothing.
Hey, this is coming from I'll tell you this. I came from the ICU, dude. I was a registered nurse in the ICU for 6 years. And when you say there's nothing more valuable than breath, I mean, you go talk to somebody on a ventilator in the ICU, and they will agree with you all day, every day, because without that, you ain't got nothing, right? And so I love that. So how many kids do you have? First, let me ask you that.
I have 2 kids.
Okay.
I have
Boys,
2 kids.
I know you have one boy, but
Carter and Callie.
Okay.
So, before I had kids, I wanted to get married. I was ready. I went on Match.com. I was like, look, let me see what's going on. I said, you know what? I'm going to get 6 months. I'm going to pay for the entire 6 months. I'm ready to go. I went on my first date and got married, and then went on Match.com again.
That's great, dude. That's great. Oh, man. One could say that finding your wife on Match.com is a bigger blow to your ego than bankruptcy, right?
Oh, no.
I love that. I think it's awesome, dude. I
love the internet dating was amazing. It's like you could create your wife. I was like, okay, I don't want you to smoke. Nah, do I want you to be married? Nope, never married. Like I could really, I was loving it. It was phenomenal. It was,
like buying groceries in the store, right? You get to choose.
It's like, it's
as long as they choose you back.
Alex, you say create your wife, and we live in a day and age now. I've recently seen a couple of articles on this, and it's fucking insane with AI right now. I've seen where you're going to be able to go and create your wife as a sex doll, right? But you get to choose all the features, and then it's going to be a lifelike woman that you could potentially marry. So when you say create your wife, they've taken it to a whole new level these days. But what I want to know, and what I want to unpack for our listeners, because we talked about it in the intro, but what was the story about buying your toddler an investment property?
So
how did you even, was it, I'm going to take care of my boy, or
no, I got you. I'm about to
recalculate it. Yeah.
I'm about to. So before I got married, I told my wife, I think it's best that, you have a home before we hit marriage. Investment property. She agreed. She's like, a phenomenal idea. So let's do it. So she bought a 3-family. I have a multi-family, and our tenants paid for our wedding, but they wasn't invited.
That's
they weren't invited. Some are like, that's okay. They weren't invited. So how can I make them pay for my kids' schooling, college, so Sally Mae don't take advantage of them? So the school system and the interest, they're not getting beat down and have to face the fact that they can't buy a house because of high debt to income. So when I had kids, when I had Carter, I had an opportunity to purchase this home, and I was like, you know what? I want this particular home to be for Carter, right? I want him to make a lot of mistakes in life. I want him to do anything he wants in life, right? So that's the reason why I bought the home, and I'm not paying for college.
Love it.
So at least his tenants could pay for schooling. He could drop out, drop back in. Who cares? He's not paying interest. His debt to income, who cares? It's extremely low. That's really the idea. Because I just don't understand that as a 16-year-old person, how do you know what you want to be in life? How do you know what you want to be in life? And this is where they take advantage of you, right? So you say, hey, I want to be this person. All right. And parents, fathers, I'm going to tell you something. I want to do a quick calculation for fathers. Lifestyle minus major, right? Lifestyle minus major, right? So lifestyle, say this is my lifestyle is 100,000. Okay, your major, what's your major? Is your major 50,000? So 100,000, that's not going to work. You need your major to be higher than your lifestyle. So you need to ask your child, tell me about your lifestyle. Where you want to live? What kind of car you want to buy? Okay. How many homes? How often you want to go out? Weekly. Okay, add that up yearly. So if it's 200,000 for their lifestyle, their major need to be at least 250 to 300,000. And that's where we skip. We just say go to school. Oh, you need to go to school, but you're setting them up.
Mm-hmm.
You're setting them up. They need to understand their lifestyle, write their lifestyle down and say, well, based on your lifestyle, you want to be a teacher. That's not going to work.
So
we don't.
Let's also add that, and Zach and I have gone on many rants about this because we both feel very strongly about it. But let's not act like the public education system is doing them any justice either, because we just did a whole episode on this. But if we really peel back the layers of the onion, the public education system is setting our children up to be pawns of the government and, order followers and consumers and people that spend, right? So when you go out and you say your best shot at success is go get a 4-year degree, and these kids convince themselves, well, all I need is a bachelor's degree. I'm going to go get an art degree, and it's going to cost me $80,000. And then they're bitching because they're fucking working at Starbucks making $15 an hour, and they want the minimum wage even higher, right? It's like, okay, we've got this whole thing backwards, and this is what we're cranking out in the public education system. So I love that you're advocating for a more active role in your child's future planning, right? Even at a young age, because when you start putting those thoughts not only into your child's head, but in your head, right? The more that we talk about things, the more we think about it, and the more strategic planning can go into it. Zach and I are both healthy and fit, and I would say at least 20% of the reason that we're both healthy and fit these days is because we fucking talk about it all the time, right? It's one of those things that's always pounding in our head. So I love that you are already putting that planning out there, and so I think that's great advice to the guys that are listening to this right now, because dude, that's gold when you start to carve out their foundation at a young age.
Yeah, I call it fuck up money. I'm giving them fuck up money. Yep. I'm giving them and fuck you money at the same time. So the boss is acting up. I'm firing. My son will fire his boss or her or him, his or her, whatever sex it is. He is firing the boss straight up. Like, look, let me tell you something. I got a couple of homes. I really don't need to be here. I'm being here because I'm just trying to learn your system, because I'm about to build my own system over here. But you're acting up, so you're fired. See ya. Right. And as a father, that makes me feel good, because I fired Bank of America, right? And I love Bank of America as a company. It taught me a lot, but I had to move on.
Yep.
Right. But some of us don't have that opportunity to move on because security. They waive that. Oh, if you leave, you can't make it out there on your own. But you could. But you can. You can't. You're looking at a person. You can. Can. Right. So that was the idea. But I took it a little further. Last year, I had the opportunity to build condos in Boston, Massachusetts. Okay. And I named the complex the Carter J. Edwards condominiums. Right. So now Carter, next 100 years, have homes built after his name. Like,
that's so awesome.
He walks past. I don't care if he's 90 years old. Like, that's me. That's me.
Yep.
What lasts longer than life? Real estate. We know that.
We
know that. My home was built in 1910. We know that. So now my kids can see their name on buildings. I don't need to wait until my kids die to celebrate them. I'm doing that right now.
I think it's awesome.
And the world going to have to understand that.
Yeah. No, I love your mindset, especially when it comes to your kids. It's like you're someone who screams to me, that you are the ultimate you're wanting to set your kids come first, right? You're wanting to set their foundation right now, early on in life, which I love. And I'll be honest, I wish I did a better job at that early on when I started, right? And so now my wife and I are definitely planning that, but I'm 43. And so for the guys out there that are listening right now, especially some of you younger guys, man, take Alex's advice and start planning now, right? Even if the financial piece is not where you want it to be, this is an opportunity to learn a little bit more. I think, and going back to what Zach said earlier about we don't lack for information, we lack for application. And you're right, man. YouTube is a university in its own. And I feel like some people just simply aren't willing to do the work, but those who are willing to do the work and those who can truly show up every day and continue to learn and continue to build their knowledge base, at least give themselves the ammunition to create change in their own lives, but also set their kids up with a greater foundation. We haven't talked a lot about your health and fitness. You don't strike me as an obese man by any means, looking at you on the camera. So where does that fit in? Because I can tell that you're a man who juggles a lot, right? You talked about flips, you talked about other investments. Where do you squeeze in the health and fitness component? Because obviously somebody with as much as you've got on your plate, you need to feel good. Our motto is feels damn good to feel damn good. And you need to feel good and have the energy level to keep up with all that you've got going on. And so with somebody as busy as you, where are you squeezing that in your life?
Another good question. 4:30 in the morning. That's where
you're one of those.
4:30 in the morning, LA Fitness. Holla at me. And I joined a flag football team, right? I'm the oldest person, the youngest is 18, right? So I'm around these young kids. I'm cheating. I can't lie. I'm cheating because I'm keeping up with them, but I'm really want to be around them to stay in shape.
Sure.
That's it. They're going to run faster than I'm 38. 38 in July, 37 now, but I'm 37. And if I'm playing with people my age, they're probably not going to run as fast. So I probably won't get that workout. So I joined a football team. I'm there every Sunday playing with them. I'm keeping up. I look like an all-star. But that was a cheating code for me to stay in shape and trick my head that like working out is fun. Because 4:30 is hard. It's extremely hard. But
I understand.
I do have a trainer as well. Sometimes come to the house, and I want to be honest, my kids wake up and train with me as well. And
that's great, dude.
They 2 and 5.
That's so great, dude.
That's not required though. They do it on their own. They hear the noise and they come out.
Yeah, well, at 2 and 5, they have interest.
Yeah.
They have interest in what dad's doing, but here's the thing. Yeah. You're showing them what it's like to live this lifestyle, right? You're showing them that health and fitness is a foundation for performance every day. You're showing them what it means to work hard and work on accumulating wealth. You're showing them because you're leading by example, and you're not telling them that they need to build wealth and eat healthy and work out. And I think that's a huge disconnect with dads out there who are trying to be good dads because they're telling their kids what to do, but they're not showing their kids what they do. You have to be an active participant in your children's lives for you to truly lead by example. And so I love that, man.
I want to say something about that though. You hit a real great point. Oh my God, I'm loving this show. First of all, I call them frauds. Frauds. Not F for father, F for fraud. Because you know what I dislike too is this when someone say, "Oh, I want you to be better than me."
Yeah.
Imagine, like, look. First of all, my kids they're gonna have to try their best.
That's what Zach says all the time.
To be better than me. Yeah, and I'm up there like I'm competing with my kids right now. I'm like, nah. I want to be here.
I love it.
I want to be a superhero for a very long time.
Yeah.
Right? So if I be like, oh, I want you to be better than me. I don't want you to smoke cigarettes while I smoke a cigarette. I'm a fraud.
Yep.
This is what you need to do. Well, show me what I need to do, Dad. Yeah, Alex was going to show you. I'm not going to sit back and go on Google and be like, yo, this is what you need to do. No. No, I want to be your superhero for life. I want you to be proud of me for life. When I walk in the room, I want you to say, that is my dad. And everybody say, for real?
Hell yeah, dude.
That's the feeling of a real good father. Knowing that you did everything possible to be a good person, a good father, be a good family man, good memories, had fun with them, taught them and disciplined them all at the same damn time.
Yeah, I love that. You know, you hit on a lot of great things there, and that is exactly what we stand for, dude. And like, for me, you know, I love that you brought up the fraud thing, because we talk about it often. Zach says one of his biggest fears is his kids growing up and looking up to somebody else's father, right? Like, you didn't lead by example if that's the case. And so for me, I'll tell you what, my son, my oldest, my 2-year-old, we're not racing yet, right? And your 2-year-old's not racing either. But my 7-year-old, this little shit thinks he can beat me in a race. He talks a big game. And I'm like, dude, I will go right now. We can go out. I will do it at midnight. I will do it at whatever time you want, and I will smoke your ass. And you are not going to beat me until you can truly beat me. And he's like, no, I think I can beat you. I'm like, buddy, let's go do it right now. And so, you know, if we run and I smoke him, and I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to maintain that same mentality until he can truly beat me. There's literally no chance that he stands unless that fucker can truly beat me, right? Same thing with strength, right? When you start working out with me and we start going to the gym together, you're not going to bench more than me. You're not going to squat more than me. And I do any of that because it's going to raise my competitive juices. They're not flowing as much as they could be. When my son starts to challenge me a little bit, then those competitive juices, I can tell you're the same way, are going to go through the roof. And I am going to maintain my edge as long as I freaking can, because I know that's making you better.
Exactly. And I want to say something else. I know we're coming to an end. I want to say something else before we get off. Men, we got to treat our women right. I'm going to say that. And I want to be honest with you. You need to marry the woman you want your daughter to be and become the man you want your daughter to bring home.
I love that, dude.
And you have to understand that. You can't say, I'm going to marry this woman and disrespect the mother and not think that your little daughter's watching you disrespect her mom. Someone's going to disrespect your little daughter, and she's going to be like, oh, okay, my dad did this. I'm used to it.
Yep.
So make sure you marry the woman you want your daughter to be and become the man you want your daughter to bring home.
That's great advice.
That's extremely important. And next, I wrote Mortgage Before Marriage, Finances Before Fiance, Rockefeller Before Beyonce for you. For you, everything we spoke about today, it's in that book. It's in that book. My stories, the bankruptcy, you hear, I am vulnerable. I'm telling the truth. I went through it. I fell for you. I bled for you. And now it's in the book so you don't make those mistakes. Family is everything. Legacy is everything. And we all have wealth. The fact that we are breathing.
I love it. Yeah, that's like your core value. It's so great. Well, I want to get one more question out of you before we close shop. I've loved this interview, and I think there's an opportunity to definitely bring you back, dude, because I know that we could probably turn this into a Joe Rogan episode. We're very aligned, but I think there's a lot of value you can add to our audience, and you've definitely done that for today. What I want, and this, you know, if it's an opportunity to plug yourself, go for it. That's not my angle here. So please promote yourself as much as you like. We'll put all your books and links and stuff in the show notes. So if you want to tell us where anybody out there where we can find you, certainly do that here. But what would be, and let's go beyond the Google or YouTube piece, right? Can you give, if there is somebody out there who hears this show and they're like, man, this guy's sharp. He seems to be on top of it. He seems to be knowledgeable. You've been through the ringer when it comes to real estate, man. Is there one piece of advice or one simple strategy that you would recommend for somebody that does have a little bit of interest or a little bit of hunger to get on the real estate side of things? What would be that piece of advice that you would give somebody out there to make their journey a little bit simpler? Not easy, just simpler.
Good question. So I would say find out what part of real estate interests you. That's number one. People, I want to be I want to be I want to jump in real estate. Oh, you want to be an agent? You want to be a broker? You want to be an investor? You want to be a wholesaler? What do you want to do? You want to buy and keep? You want to buy and flip? What do you want to do? Figure that out first.
Okay.
Me personally, I love probate real estate. The biggest we in a probate flip right now. The biggest deals I get is probate.
And this is when, so excuse my
passes.
ignorance, someone dies, family is selling off the property, and they just want it off their hands. Because my question to you would be, with probate real estate, why would the family sell it at a discount when they could go out and try to maximize that? Is it just the stress of the situation, and are you just looking for biggest deal and people that are just trying to get out as quick as possible, or what's the angle there?
So one, I won't give you a couple of reasons. One, siblings don't get along. They all need to sign off, but they're not getting along. I just want the money. I don't want to do. And guess what? They can't afford it. They can't afford a home, right?
Makes sense.
Is, guess what? The home probably need a lot of work. They can't put the money in. So it's like, what do? We either lose it to because we're not paying taxes, or we sell it fast and the siblings can go back not talking to each other.
Got it.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Pure honesty.
Yeah,
you shot me straight. So.
You could go to land court. Go to land court. Probate is public. You can see who died and left homes. Go to
landcourt.com or something.
Or go into land court in your county. Go into land court and say, hey, let me look at the book. Let me see who died. Me personally, what I like to do is having a big mouth. I have a big mouth. In 50 Cent's book, it says, I'll shoot your mama house up and make you come look for me, right? Me, I love marketing. That means what I heard was, market your ass so good that you don't have to go to land court and people call you, oh, shoot, that's what I'm about to do. You know what I'm saying? So
50 Cent is fucking sharp as hell, dude, man. Like,
yeah, so
you can say what you want about his rap, but dude knows his shit.
Yeah, I like probate. That's my thing. But a lot of people like flips too. A lot of people I just want to hold real estate, and one day I don't want to work. I just want to collect rent. But now you have to deal with tenants. Some people don't want to deal with tenants. So again, you got to figure out what you want when it comes to real estate. Airbnb. I have an Airbnb. I want to be honest. That's the best decision I ever made. I have Toro. Toro is good. It's okay. But the Airbnb is the best decision I ever made. So again, you just have to focus on what you want and what kind of real estate you want to be involved in.
I love it, dude. Do you manage your own Airbnb?
Yeah, my wife. Yep, me and my wife. Yep. It's and that's the one for my son. That one makes us the most money. It is crazy. It is crazy.
We'll have to chat, man. I want to know more. For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Let's close shop. I'm going to bring you back. You got a lot of value to add. Let's close shop though. Where can our audience find more about you? I know that there's going to be people asking. I know they're going to want a website, a link, an Instagram handle, something. Where can we get more, Alex?
Definitely. So first thing first is mortgage, the letter B, the number 4, marriage.com. Again, mortgage, the letter B, the number 4, marriage.com. That's my website. You could definitely find the book there if you need to learn anything, if you want. That book is a phenomenal. It's easy to learn. That's why I love the book. It's just like cool stories. I break down information so you could actually understand it. So I would say, all right, well, I went on the Fatherhood show and I broke down probate, and this person asked me about probate. So I explained probate, and I realized that, dead people don't negotiate. So I said, so I really break it down so you could really understand real estate, right? Reach me, Alex E. Edwards, on all social media, Alex E. Edwards on Instagram, YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, Alex E. Edwards, everywhere. Alex E. Edwards is easy. And if you mention this show, and I could give you the discount as well. If you mention the show, I'll give you 50% off on the book. And if your father, just tell me why you're a good father. Just tell me why you're a great father, or why you want to become a good father, right? Because I think we need good men. It's single
Our
women.
society is starving
Yeah.
for them.
Single women are buying way more real estate than single men, and that's I'm happy for the women. I'm extremely happy. But men, what are we doing? We can't just sit back and say, you know, I'm going to wake up every day, so I got a chance to catch up. We need to stand up today, stand up now, and our family need us. The world need us. We are protection, and we really need to be there for our future family and for our present family.
I love it, dude. This has been a fantastic episode. I'm not super sure when it'll come out, but very soon.
Okay.
Dude, we'll definitely bring you back, man. I appreciate you taking time out of your day. I know you're a busy dude, but I know you added a shit ton of value for our audience today, man. So thank you so much. Hope you have a fantastic weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
But you're setting them up.
Mm-hmm.
You're setting them up. They need to understand their lifestyle, write their lifestyle down and say, well, based on your lifestyle, you want to be a teacher. That's not going to work.